Oh yeah, that's important. Get that recording going. Come on. Why is it not letting me get in front of that? Yeah. Oh, it's still opening up. That's why. Okay. So this is on another monitor. So I'm just trying to bring it over to show you what I'm looking at. Right. So come on. Okay. So I've got 5 across the top, 4 rows straight down, 20 stocks, pop, right? Power option plays. These are my 20 stocks. Okay. I don't trade all of them every day. But what's nice on this is I've got this platform set up, this page set up, this template set up that I can look at all 20 stocks. I can look at all 20 stocks at one time. There we go. I can look at all 20 stocks at one time. And when something is moving, I can get a quick analysis. And then what I do is I've got multiple monitors. It's a 6-pack, right? All right. It's going to open somewhere, someday, sometime. I wish it would. Okay. And then I come back to my 4-pack and I'm looking at what's going on a 5-minute chart, on a 1-minute chart. I've got a higher time frame depending on when I'm looking at it, which doesn't help me much if I am looking, let's say, at 9:40 in the morning. It doesn't help me at all. Just got to start my drawing tools, guys. Doesn't help me at all. So upper left is the 1, center upper is the 5, bottom left is the 30, and center bottom is the daily chart. And that just gives me the ability to have multiple views of the exact same stock so I can finesse, tweak that entry a little bit. All right, let me pause that. Okay, so 1, 5, 30, and daily, right? This is an S&P chart right here, right? That I'm just able to see. And then, of course, what's going on the bottom right there is just my candidates. So if I wanted to switch over to AI as an example, right, I just click on it and it just changes everything over to AI. I've got Omega charts running in real time. I've got TradeStation running in real time, and I've got Zoom open, which is horrible as far as a memory draw goes. So it's crushing on me. So what am I looking for? Right, that's what this whole conversation started off with. My goal, looking at that 20-pack, 20 charts, is to see what's moving now so I could focus on it. I can't, if I have to keep switching and type in MasterCard or even click on it, and then click on Coinbase, and then click on Google, and then click on Amazon, I'm going to miss something without a doubt. If I can get them all open at one time, at least I've got an opportunity. At least I've got an opportunity to catch something when it's happening. If I'm scrolling through one by one, it's a crapshoot whether I'm going to get something or not. It really becomes fairly lucky if I do get through it at all. Okay. So as we watch, as you see here, MasterCard opened up about where it closed. And you can see that wick, that tail down there. Normally, it's going to tell you that we pulled down there first, and then we ran the way that it did. So if we go and look over at a 5-minute chart of MasterCard, quick gap up, we pull back, we close down here. We close right on this candle. So this fib line is at 532.91, right? And we close on this candle at 533.28. So 40 cents, 30 cents above. We gap up a little bit, and then we stretch all the way down, almost right down to the wick. Did we even get down there? We might have. We got down to a low of 533.08, and we're at 532.91. So not quite. We're not quite there, right? And then we bounce from there. So there's the breakout, the retest, the bounce. If you didn't take it on this candle, you closed here and pulled back here. So now we get 532.91. So 32.91, and my low was 33.08. So now we're looking at 9 and 8, 17 cents away. We got to inbound. So one of these two candles, you would have taken the entry and you would have been out somewhere down, out before here. I did, and again, everything's non-funded, right? I got in right when the stock was about 533 and out at 538. So $5 move on there with a 70 delta. That's $3.50 minus the bid ask. So you got about $3, $2.80 on that trade. Overall, not too shabby, right? Decent little move. Patty said, I see why I didn't see that one some way. It disappeared from top 20 list. Which candidate? CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike is still here. What's disappeared off of this list is Square, right? That's disappeared. And that's MasterCard. Oh, okay. Got it. On your list, Patty. Okay. Got it. Oh, I understand. That's why you missed it. It's not on your list. Okay. Yeah, just FYI, if you're looking at Square, I went to look the other day and didn't realize they were changing the symbol. I mean, I had heard it a while back, but never paid attention to it. And I'm going to look for SQ and it's not there. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why am I not finding this? And I'm doing a recording and I'm saying, oh, guys, hold on a sec. Somehow XYZ stock got on my list. So let me go ahead and get rid of that and put Square back. I must have made a mistake and did something in a filter or whatever in my toolkit. And then I realized, wait a second, I Googled it real quick and it came up and said they changed their name to match more of what they do, which was blockchain and so forth, right? So along with the name change. Yeah, Stephanie said, I Googled it last night to find it. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I was like, wait a second. It was kind of like the best kept secret out there. I had no idea. And we trade it regularly. But remember, I'm also not out there looking at news on these companies. I don't care about the news, right? Not at all. I wanted to share, today was a rough day, just by the market. I mean, we're down 110 points on the S&P. That's a freaking drop, baby. I got to say, it just got slammed. I mean, right now, we're in a bullish neutral bias. If we were to close here, we got a major blue zone happening right there. A lot of, 3 different levels in there overall. So there's a lot of stuff happening, right there. So I want to show you, where is it? Okay, there we go. Last week, I've started doing a new video. What in God's great earth did I do? Everything on my monitor is all shut down. Okay. Now, today's trades, let's go back and put the chart up. Okay, wow. So I started doing a new video. I did this a while back and then I got away from it and started back at it again. And the name of the video, and it's going to be a YouTube is where you're going to find it, but the name of the video is Power Option Playback. And it's not just meant for those that are in power option plays. It's just, I'm going over those stocks. It'll be published today. I recorded it on the weekend. My team will get it up there today. But it's going over whatever trades we did for the previous week, which I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 of them I haven't even shown in pop yet because we'll do the update today. But they were trades from Friday's close. And this is a Monday through Friday report, right? So whatever the trades were from Monday through Friday of last week, booking was a killer. We got in at 48.54.5, bearish trade. So 48.54, we got out at 47.67, right? Near 100-point move on booking. Phenomenal. And it was an intraday move. We didn't have to wait till end of day to get it. Coinbase, CrowdStrike, Home Depot, Amazon, another CrowdStrike, NVIDIA, Goldman Sachs, Netflix, all great setups in there. The home run of all of them was booking, right? They equated to almost, not quite, but almost half of the P&L. And that was on 4 contracts only, half of the P&L. Coinbase was the next one. And then we had a couple of smaller ones in there, more common of what we see in pop, but CrowdStrike was $5,000. This CrowdStrike was $4,000. Netflix, haven't traded them in a while, it's 6,600, right? And then we had the 780. We did not have a losing trade last week, right? But $66,846 if you did 10 contracts, right? And the only one that was a 4 was booking, right? So if you did 1 contract on these, it was like 6,600, 5,800, something like that. Yeah, 6,600. So that's 6,600. So overall, we had a great week last week in pop. Guys, it's the biggest week we've had of the year, right? We've got about a 78, 79%, I think it is, win ratio right now. You can see the first week started off slow, but we only had 2 days, second and third, right? But we still took off 4 or 5 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades the first week. Very little the previous week, but 3 trades. Lily was a $15,000, $13,000 trade. So that made up nicely for the week. And then of course this week. So guys, there's plenty of opportunity out there if you go and dig for it and look for it. And realistically, you've got to get to a point. You should not have to do a lot of work to find your candidates day in and day out, right? It's a systematic approach. Think of any task that you do at your job, your work, whether it's business, employee, whatever it is. Think of a task that you do over and over and over again. You don't think about it. Okay, so I pick the pen up and put the point down, and I press the top down to open it up, and I make sure that this little thingy is not under my finger because it would be uncomfortable. You don't do that. Where's my pen? Okay, good. Start writing or filling out your form, right? You just do it. You know what to do. You just do it. It's easy, piece of cake, boom, go. Okay. With trading, it needs to be similar. And I don't mean it's going to be as simple as pick up your pen. I don't mean that whatsoever. But it needs to be systematic, that it's just the same process over and over and over again. And the biggest thing I will tell you is this: if you are not at a point that you are looking at the market day in and day out and paper trading it day in and day out, it will take you that much longer to get it down, to get this figured out, right? If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? I've never set this up as visions of grandeur that you get rich in a day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years. Never, ever in my time teaching have I ever done that, right? Trading is hard. If it were that easy, everybody would do it, right? The difference is the systematic approach to it is what you have to get down for you. I've got a routine of I just do the same thing every day. I don't think about it. Don't pass go. Don't collect 200. Nothing. Just go, right? Do whatever has to be done, right? Part of that includes education, learning, and so forth, right? So there's a couple of things that everybody should focus on here. If I want to take you over to Trading Like a Boss, which ironically, Andrew is out today, sick. So Elisa jumped in to help us here in class. So she already dropped the link in. I didn't even ask for it. And she didn't even know I was going to ask for it. But guys, Trading Like a Boss, right? There's a lot on this page, right? Power Hour, Trading Coaches Playbook. Notice at the far left, far right on the top row, they're the bookends of what we do. We start the week off with Power Hour. We wrap the week up with Trading Coaches Playbook, okay? And then whatever trainings are coming up are listed on here. Guys, Trade with Rob, if you've not taken advantage of the Trade with Rob, I think you're making a serious mistake. All right. And here, let me just open this up. And it's free. Everything on this page is free. You should be on this page every single week. Where is it opening up? My spreadsheets are taking a long time. Okay. So if you look down at the bottom here, now this is from June 25th of 2024. We're up 16,713.24 on one contract trade. 60 winners. 12 went against us, 3 broke even, 75 trades taken. By the way, we've had more than 100 trades that did not go off. I do 3 a day. More than 100 did not go off, right? It's not about only finding ones that are going to work. It's if it doesn't give us the right move, if it gaps away from us, we can't take that trade. We don't even look at it any longer. But on average, of the 75 that we did take, win, lose, draw, again, all non-funded, 222.84 is the P&L on those 75 trades. Right, that's free inside as Trade with Rob. Right, so make sure you're registered for that. All right, you can go back and watch Tony's patterns today. But guys, if you go over to the far right, you'll see level up your trading with AI, free AI trading prompts. Download your copy, and it is just that. It is free. Okay, so I'm not only going to give you the prompts, I explain to you how to use them and why. And these are all, there are 10 of them, by the way, and these are ones that I have developed personally. Okay, stuff that I use. And it's not an end all. I'm not trying to just, this is it. No. This is meant to help you think differently. There's also only one AI platform that I believe you should be doing this with. And I tell you who that is inside the training video that's in the members area that comes with the free download. All right, let's see. And then whatever other trainings on it. Guys, there's Fibonacci, today's power indicator, same thing. It's a 3-part series. It's about an hour long, teaching you what I do with fibs and the likes, right? So the Trade with Rob is candidates a couple times a week, 2, 3, 4 days a week, depending on how many I can get out there. The AI stuff helps you find candidates, all free. Trading Like a Boss should become your best friend. All the trainings that are in there, you should be in every one of those trainings. And if you go to the homepage and you look at WBHQ TV in the upper right-hand corner, it's orange, right? Click on that. It'll take you to a series of our recent trainings that you go back and watch some of those there as well, right? So there's a lot from an education standpoint that you can do, but you need to figure out a process of when and how you're going to do it. And you need to stick to it. You know, they say when it comes to sleep, right? Getting more sleep one night than the other doesn't really fix it. You got 6 hours one night and you got 9 hours the next. It doesn't really, or even 10 hours the next. It doesn't make up for it, right? Consistency is more of the importance when it comes to sleep. And it's no different here. The importance is the consistency. It's every day at this time, I'm planning on spending this much time at it, 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it is. I'm going to spend this much time finding candidates, looking at candidates, education, whatever it is. You're going to put in your work to get to the point of building that system for yourself, right? Everything is all about systems. Okay, let's go back. Economic reports. Let's go check those out. And we've had a lot, not from an economic report standpoint, but you've got a lot happening with President Trump out there right now. There's a whole lot of shake, rattle, and roll taking place. Right now, for this week, today we had nothing, and 10 o'clock was new home sales. Where is my drawing tools? There we go. So that's okay. It's orange. Tomorrow at 8:30, we got a couple of orange reports. Right, 9 o'clock is another one, S&P composite. And then 10 o'clock, markets open, consumer confidence. That one right there is important. It's red, and the market is open. So if you're in a trade, it could have an effect on your trade, so be very careful. 10:30 on Wednesday is crude. Fed fund, so all Fed 2 and 2:30 on Wednesday. So this is part of your work, your research. What is this telling us? Well, on Wednesday, you're going to see lighter trading volume normally during the day because of the Fed announcing that afternoon. Are they going to raise rates? Are they going to leave them in place, intact? Let's see. Does anybody know what the Fed fund rate is expected for this Wednesday? Can anybody jump out there to the Fed site and tell me what we're looking at as far as chance of increase? I think we're pretty consistent with staying flat is our number, but just want to know what it's saying recently. Thursday, we've got advanced GDP and unemployment. There are 8:30 reports. Pending home sales, that's 10 o'clock, but not really concerning to me that much. And then on Friday, you got a couple of reports as well, 9:45 PMI, right? What you're not seeing on here is the shakeups that take place from anything that's happening with the new president. And that's with any new president, right? They come in, there's executive orders, there's changes being made, there's things they're saying, things they're doing, people that they're aligning themselves with, people they're ticking off. Yeah, 97.3, no change. That's what I'm looking for, Jim. Thanks. Thank you for that as well, Ray. 97.3% chance that we will have no change in the Fed rate. So I'm not expecting the Fed rate to have any importance to us on Wednesday. What I am expecting is, what does Powell say behind it? But no increase this quarter, or this month, but I see this, and this happening. That next sentence is the most important part, right? That's what we want to be cautious on what they say. So you're going to see lighter volume just based on that, right? Trump is not happy that they're not dropping rates. He wants to see rates lower. Listen, he's a businessman. That means rates are lower. He pays less on interest for his businesses, even if he's not running them now, which he can't be legally. He can't be running his businesses. He's got to just run the country. His son is running it. But even that, it's still making them more money by paying less out in interest, right? So I agree that rates should be dropped more, but I don't know if this is the time to do it. And what I mean by that is I think we waited too long to drop. I think we should have done it already. All right. So economic reports, important part. If you took a spiral notebook, which I don't have here in front of me right now, I wanted to show you, but I got a pad. Okay. So you got two sides to the pad. Okay. So when I lay it in front of me on my table, on the left-hand side, both pages, by the way, would be for today. Okay. Both pages are for today. on the left-hand side, I'm going to write down economic reports, what time they're coming out. And I'm not writing down, for tomorrow, I'm not writing down 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, durable goods orders, month over month, orange. No. Okay. I'm going to write durable goods, right? That's it. Durable goods. And I'll put an O for orange or an R for red, right? Just let me know what it is. I'll put that in front of it, right? In front of the words. That goes down there. The right side of the page is all about the trades I'm doing today. Whatever trades are going on, I'm writing all of those down. Okay. I will also write down on the right side of the page the emotions. So I may write down that I took a trade on MasterCard and I bought the $500 calls. They cost me $11. The bid ask, so they were 1050 by 11. Okay. The time that I entered into the trade, right? I might write down the OI if I have time, but if I'm busy looking at other stuff, OI is open interest is not as important to me as far as writing it down, right? Because I wouldn't have taken a trade with less than 100. But I will also write down any emotions. I'm only doing one contract on this instead of my normal 10 contracts because fear in the market after the move that was just made, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Same thing with MasterCard today, right? It was a smaller trade quantity out there. Why? Well, because of what's happened with the market. This was kind of a contrarian move to the overall market today. Okay. So that the pad that's representing a spiral notebook and I do them with 5 subject notebooks today. I don't use 1 subjects any longer. I do them with 5s. I just tear the dividers out of them as I get to them. Okay. But it just keeps everything in one place for me. And I'll go back over that notebook on the weekend, not to just say, hey, winning trade, baby, good job. No, I don't know by looking at it because I won doesn't mean it was a good trade. I may have got lucky. I may have got stupid and got lucky, or did something stupid and got lucky. But I will write those notes in there. Bad setup, never should have taken the trade, right? I bought the wrong call option on this one. Whatever it is, I'll jot those notes down on there just to, again, to help make me a better trader, okay? So economic reports, anything that's going on for the day, news about a stock that you're looking at. I also write down on the left side of my page with the candidates that I am focused on today. Over the weekend, I would have spent some time, literally 2 or 3 minutes, going through my charts on Omega charts, my 20 stocks, and identifying what ones I want to look at first on Monday morning. I'm going to write those down. I've already got them set up on my charts on TradeStation when I get started out, right? Everything I need is done. If there are earnings coming out on any of the stocks I'm looking to trade, I'm going to have those. I have my pop tracking sheet. I was trying to be neat and put it away for today, but get it out of the way. I've already started filling it out. Everything we're doing right now is day trades or earnings trades, right? So I've already started filling it out, the tracking sheet, but I've got a place here for earnings, right? And I jot down the earnings. If it's got a check mark next to it, there's a little separate box there. If it's got a check mark next to it, that check mark means that it is confirmed for that date, right? So I want to know what those earnings are. And for me, this is my lifeblood. This sheet is my lifeblood. I've got my bias, my rank, my targets, bullish and bearish. I've got my earnings on there, right? A place for my earnings. I've got a place for my notes to go in there. And those notes are not just what happens at the end of the day. If I'm using this sheet and I'm taking trades off of here, I'm going to jot down on here the price, the stock, the option that I bought, or the price the stock was at in the time I took the trade. I'm going to write that down on there. Not normally the options detail, but the stock detail. I'm going to write right on this page. I'm very much about systems and the likes, right? Everything I do is that exact way, right? Some of you have seen this before. Let's see. When I say you've seen it before, right? I am anything I can do to be a perfectionist, I am. My woodworking, I was a tool and die maker, which is a machinist on steroids, right? Just PhD in machinery and being a machinist, right? Very precision. I worked in the thickness of half of a hair. That's the thicknesses that I worked in, okay? I've also taken up baking sourdough, right? This was from this weekend, right? I am a perfectionist with how I do it, right? Everything I do about it is temperature, time, it's all measured, calculated, everything. And you need to do the exact same thing with your trading. It's got to be precision. It's got to be accurate. You got to time everything out and figure out exactly the how and the when you're doing it. So these economic reports should be checked every day so you don't get blindsided. Never, ever, ever you want to be on the wrong side of that. What page you talking about, Tom? The pad that I opened up? That was, if that's what you're referring to, Tom, it's just, I'm just using that as a spiral notebook as an example. Right? Woo, woo, there you go. As a spiral notebook. Saying that you want to do that on the right side page is everything that's going on trades today. The left side is everything else. Earnings, candidates, economic reports are all going to be on the left side of my page. So the left side is all of that. So candidates, earnings, economic reports, any news about stocks you're looking at are on the left side. The right side of the page is today's trades, right? The stock symbol, the price when I got the price of the stock when I got in, the time that I got into the trade. I want to know the time. I am a big fan of clock, so I've got the clock on the computer. I've got a little clock here as well. I've got a clock up on the wall, 2 other computers that have clocks on them, clock on my cable box. I can see the time no matter what direction I look. I want to know the time when I entered into that trade. It's very important. What option did I buy? What was the bid and the ask of the option? How much did I pay? In other words, it was 10 by 11. I paid 10.60. I'm going to write down 10.60 is my price, but it was 10 by 11. $10 by $11 was the bid and ask. Okay. So I want to have all that written down with my trade and any emotions that went on. Once I do that, I skip one line on the page and I put a line underneath it. And that line underneath it then separates it where I can put down the next trade. And I don't place a lot of trades at a time or in a day. If I get 2 or 3 trades off, it's a lot. I'm not trying to do lots and lots of trades. My goal is to really find the best possible trades from my system. All right, let's go look at the market and see what the heck is going on. So OMG, as I've already stated, right? We're down 108 points right now. We're down 110 when I first started today. We've come up a little bit more. We're in a very precarious place right now because we have, well, let's do this. Let's go back and identify right from the get-go, right from the start, right? So I've got the V bottom up to that V top. We've got multiple blue zones of, not blue zones, but blue rectangles, which are dreaded boxes of neutrality, right? It's not quite a Darvas box, but it's got the same concept behind it, right? And we get up this high, and this was at that time the all-time high above this blue zone, that blue box. Then we go ahead and we put this new low in. We come back up, we put in a lower high. We put in a lower low, slightly, but it's lower. Lower high, much lower low. We blew through that blue zone there, which was the 236 and the fib line. And then we start coming back up. We, on this candle, get above all 3 moving averages. The next day, we retest and bounce, and it was a Katie bar of the doors. It's an opportunity to enter into the market if you haven't already. This was not a place for me of guessing in here. I'm not saying you can't do good at that. I don't. I will screw it up royally over and over again if I try to guess. I need systematic. Systematic says break above, retest, and bounce. How much better could it have been, right? Breaks above, retest, and you got this gap in here, and you go. Okay? We had a few more runs up. We took out this recent swing high. We took out this previous one right here, barely, but we got above it with our wick. We gapped up and put in a new high, which now again on Friday we had another new high. So we have a higher high. We'll take this one out. We have a higher high and we pulled back. Now the question is going to be what's going to happen with our lows. Are we going to settle somewhere above this previous low and bounce? Right now, there's one magic number that professional traders are focused on. 5%. And that's a 5% pullback. on any individual stock. If you have a stock that's $100 and from $100 it drops down 95, that's a 5% pullback, and it starts to find a base there and bounce. Traders are adding to their positions, no ifs, ands, or buts at this point. Okay. Most of the political stuff is behind us as far as presidency. That's done. The war in Russia, Russia, Ukraine, the Middle East, all of that stuff being worked on as we speak, right? I haven't heard much on Russia, but we're hearing rumors in the background that he's doing something, the president, right or wrong, I don't know, right? So from an economic standpoint, people are liking what they see so far. Business, without a doubt, likes it. When the president of the United States shows up at Davos and says, hey, in front of all these top executives, y'all don't want to pay the tariffs? Make your product in the United States and you will enjoy the lowest tax rate of any other, almost any other country out there, right? So there's a lot economically happening that are driving things. So this pullback of 5% in the bounce, people are looking to add to. So, and I'm not telling you do that. I'm not telling you don't do that. I'm letting you know what other traders out there are focusing on right now. They're looking for a pullback. This was a pullback, right? But, well, Rob, I got in and I entered the market on that day. Well, you're a much better person than I am, because I would never have figured out that that was the bottom from this candle. Oh, the next day it gapped up and it ran down, but it bounced, but it closed lower. But that was my day. Really? Okay, we're still in a bearish bias to me, so I don't see it. We gap up here. Oh, see, but that was my day. On that gap, I knew we were bearish neutral on the open. We went into neutral. Then we got into bullish, but are we going to hold in bullish? I don't know, right? So until we got above this moving average, the highest moving average, whatever it was, in this case was 21, there was no signal that said, go ahead and get in, at least not to me. That doesn't mean I've got all the answers. I just have my system, the way that I like to look at the market, right? That's what's important to me. That's what needs to be important to you. So this gap down today, chilling effect today. And I am not ready to commit a yay or nay of what I want to do here. And I'll show you why. I just want to get rid of my crosshair. I am not willing to commit yet. We got down into what would have been a neutral bias had we stayed there. We stretched back up between the 6,008, the 6,000, and the 5991 level. We've got a blue zone drawn right in there, right? Of all three of those levels. That is not the same as this blue zone back here. This blue back here is a dreaded box of neutrality, okay? This blue zone is an area of strength. We saw it on the way up, and we're back here now on the way down. Are we going to hold? Use this as a failure point? Very possibly. I don't know. Use it as a catalyst to the upside. That could happen as well. I am not sure. Right now, what I am sure of is I am not in a position here that says start doing a lot of big directional trades. Right? Actually, I'm not in a position for me to do any directional trades. We're in a neutral bias right now, bullish neutral, I understand, but that kind of gap down, I would need, my moving average for the 8 is up too high right now from where I'm at. So I would need us to move back up above this fib line, retest and bounce. And it didn't have to come that high. It's just where my pen slid to. Once it bounces, taking the trade there, and the next resistance is that 61.16 from that 60.60 level. Okay. That's what I really want to see. Or even better, I'll draw this one in red. Even better is we move up and we start to kind of do this sideways. Why? Moving averages will start to catch up. And now the move up, the pullback, and the bounce becomes so much stronger when I have a confluence of the 8 there. So much stronger. Okay? So you've got to have a process that says this is what I am doing to be able to take that trade. Sorry, guys, I got something in my eye. This is what I'm doing to be able to take that trade. What's my reasoning behind it? So right now, when I look at the S&P, I'm looking at 59.43 is the next downside, confluence of the 55. I'm looking at the upside of 6,008. Not quite a confluence of the 8 moving average yet. We do have a confluence of this swing high at that point anyway, and the 8. Okay. But I would love to see us move up, as I said, bounce and move up, or get above that 60.60 slow down a little bit, let the moving averages catch up, and then get the catalyst from there. Bottom line is you've got to come up with a plan of what to do. So if you are, look, you drive a car, right? Most of us, I would venture to say most of you may or may not have licenses, but many of you have driven cars, whether you have the license or not, okay? You're driving a car, you're on a highway, and your goal is to stay in the middle lane and you're just going straight until the car in front of you loses a tire, and then you've got to swerve to get out of the way. You don't have a lot of time to think, right? It's more of your instinct kicking in, you react and you move, right? You do what you can to try to, what's going to cause me the least damage? Hitting the car in front of me, possibly getting hit by a car on the side of me. You've got to make that split decision instantaneously in your brain. But if you've driven enough, you know what to do, right? When I was teaching my oldest daughter to drive, we have this very unique curve on the end of a corner near us. So you're coming down the road and all of a sudden it curves like this. And this literally is a blind spot as you're coming from this direction. We got into here and a car was coming at her and she screamed, took her foot off of the gas, but did not step on the brake. And we were going 10 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour, whatever it was, towards this vehicle. I had yelled brake, and we got very good at one word, of her learning. It needed to be one word, not, oh my goodness, we're in trouble. Please think about hitting the brake. Too much time. Brake, right? Boom, go right, turn right, left, turn, right? Just all keywords to make it faster and easier. It's no different here, guys. We're in a position right now of, we've got a little bit of blindness taking place, right? I'm in a bullish neutral bias. I really want to be bullish, right? So I want to get above my moving averages. It's all a matter of what's the slowdown look like, what happens from there, but my targets are clear. 6,008 is the next upside target, 60 from there, 61.16 from there. They're all easy targets. Yes, we'll have some hesitation possibly at these previous swing highs and lows, but they were all previous now that we have a new high. So it really may not matter. But if we move to the downside, that 59.43 is an easy test to the downside. Still keeps us in a neutral bias. We don't get neutral until we break it and get below the 55. And then 58.78 is our next downside target. So we've definitely got a little bit of room to go. All right, VIX. Woo! VIX, huge gap up today. We're up $3.68 right now. We are in the the moderate zone, right? Or average, moderate, whatever you want to call it, green zone, which is 18 to 29. Right. So, but the lower end of it. So we're not bad. But when it comes to the S&P, folks, here, let me do this, and we'll wrap it up with this part of it on the S&P anyway. You look at a weekly S&P chart. Right, from a weekly chart, we overall have actually done pretty good. Right, we had 2 weeks in a row down here, and you had a down week, 2 weeks here, another down week. But we keep coming back up and putting in newer highs, right, as we did on Friday. If you look at a monthly chart, which is really the most spectacular one of all, we have had this amazing progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So from when we had rolled over, we had these 3 months to the downside. We had 15 months. This one is over on Friday, the 31st. But 15, 1, 2, 3 of our months, 3 out of 15, 1/5, 20%. 20% of the months were down, 80% of the months were up. Doesn't mean they were easy months. You look at this month here, this was a wacky month, very long way, right? You look at this one, it was great month, December, right? November, great month in there, right? This December and in January, right? We opened near the bottom of the month, we closed near the top of the month, not very long wicks in there. Life is good, all right? So keep your eye on the S&P, look for the levels that I laid out. Make sure you have your fibs on there. I'll back it up. So if you don't have it duplicated, I will give it to you the dates. So we've got it drawn, the fib drawn from September 6th, the low, up to the high of October 17th. All right, let's go bring back Okay, so by the way, if you have candidates, you go ahead and you start dropping them in now. So I got Mastermind coming up on the 28th, which is tomorrow. I'm teaching that. Trading News on the 31st. That is Friday. Mastering the Trade is on the 29th, guys. That is Wednesday. That is for anybody that is in Power Option Place. That is a free training for you. It's a bonus training where we go over all the candidates, and we're going to go over and look at what candidates we might want to remove from our list and so forth. Power Hour Training Coaches Playbook are on schedule, as is the Spread Spectrum. Brandon's got 2 left, the 29th and the 30th. And then Pop, Covered Call, E-Mini are all on a regular schedule as well. All right. Weekly training topic. S&P 500 approaching all-time highs, how to trade it. Okay? I kind of went through that in the analysis of it. But guys, what I really want to see as far as the high goes, and that's the piece I really wanted to talk about in this segment here. If we can make a move back up, we get back up above this moving average, puts us in a true bullish bias, right? I need the move above this moving average, a retest and a bounce as a potential entry from here, right? But we still have 61.16 and 61.28 as our resistance levels up above, and that line right there is the all-time high on the S&P. So I really am playing cautiously up to those levels. But once we get back above, close above the 8 moving average, I'm okay to start looking at and considering directional trades that are held overnight. Right now, I'm not interested in doing that at all. Not with the way we've been trading. Okay. I was waiting for a pullback here. Wasn't expecting here. I was hoping we got the pullback to the next fib line and it bounced. But I don't get to control that. Right. Then the next segment we're looking for is up to this 61.72. Now we got 61.72.53 and 61.72.35. Ironically, they're inverse on the numbers, right? And what's happening there is that's our ABC pattern that's drawn off of the earlier part of the fib. It's where the fib started to where the fib ended, the dates that I gave you down to the lowest low, which was the 618 that we had there. Here's our lowest low, right? And then we've got this 236, this 618, and then at the very top, we have this 1, right? That's a 100% stack. So whatever the distance of the fibs are from here, that distance is the equivalent from here to here. This is the same distance in here as it is in here. It's a stacking method, right? So I do very much believe we've got that 61.72 in our sights, barring any kind of war, bad economic reports around the globe, our own economic reports, Powell not coming out and saying something stupid this week on the Fed announcement. I think we have the opportunity to get there. Today's pullback, big, right? Big pullback. We got to make some of this up. It's all a matter of how we react over the next couple of days. But never, ever, ever put yourself in a position that you are picking a direction and you are so hardcore you can't do anything else, right? No, that's not what we want to do. Okay. Jim said SPX 5% pullback is at 58.21. Right. And we got down to that 58.22. So a little bit lower, a little bit off from that level because we were going off the 6,100 level, right? Was our previous high. But overall, we had a good pullback in there and the bounce. Right now we're looking again, and Jim has given us a number. He did the math. 58.2177, folks, is your fib line. 58.2231. That's your pullback you're looking for to get another 5%. Okay. And then that's great because it gives us a stair step. We're not coming all the way back down. We're stair stepping it up. All right. Perfect. Good. So your candidates, I don't have a whole lot in here right now. 3 of them, it looks like. That's it. So let's go and jump in. If there's others you want me to look at, speak and I will hear. All right. Netflix. Who put that in? I thought so. Roman, I love it. I'd love to have the 8 moving average closer, but I love that we're sitting at that 968. We're at a rank of 2, bullish bias rank of 2. Down, it's a great switchback trade, 937 and 993. I'm going to jot that one down. All right, and look at that one for tomorrow. Like where it's at a lot. Right, 930, 993 on the upside. Roman, if we fall, retest and drop. 937 is the next downside there. We move 31 bucks a day, 31 and jingle a day. So we can make this move from 38 to 68 or from 68 to 93 easily. Easily. All right. Good luck, Roman. I hope that helps. Andres is asking for Qs. All right. So we've got the Qs. Again, way above on the moving average. We did not make the attempt at the recent high like we had with the S&P. So we did not get back up to the all-time highs whatsoever in there. So I like where it is, Andres. Let me just see. Actually, it's easiest. I need to know what it's got a $9 Wilders. 28, 38, 40. Oh, yeah, we don't need the fib in there. We're good. Right? So, Andres, I would love to see small move up, assuming we close here, small move up, retest to the 528.61 towards it, not exactly in a bounce. Right? Take the trade on the entry, on the bounce, stop below the 528.61. If we got a resistance up here at 539, my target on this one would probably be 530. Oops. 536, 537, somewhere around there. Candle at 511. Oh, you know what? My bad, Andres. Thank you. You know what? When I first did it, I saw it move. The chart only updates. I didn't look at Qs today, so it wasn't updated, and it moved. And I was just looking at this recent candle. But thank you. Good catch there. So sorry about that. So right now we're in a bearish bias. Ideally, move down, retest, and fail. Right? Now I can get the same pattern to the upside. I'm okay with either one. It is, again, another switchback on Qs. So it can work in either direction. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. I'm sorry. Lisa said it, and Elsa, both of you. Thank you. Yeah, so setup overall is good, right? But I definitely like this one to the downside the most. Now, could we get a bounce tomorrow? If you see a bounce in the NASDAQ tomorrow on this one, Andres, and we start moving up, forget about the 55. It doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned as resistance goes. I don't care. I only care about 8 and 21 there. The 55 is just for a pattern. So I don't follow it as slowing me down, right? All right, we got one more. Let's go look at Apple. Or not. Woo! Baby. We stopped tracking it in pop, so I've stopped seeing it because I don't look at Apple. I think it's too big of a blue chip. It's like a GE to me. So we're going to redraw the fibs. Probably going to redraw. Yeah, I'm going to redraw to there. So right now we're in a bearish neutral bias. Let's see, 29. Yeah, we don't need a fib there. It's too small. So if we close where we are right now, I would love to see a small move to the upside, a retest. All right. My drawing tool changed for some reason. All right. I'd love to see the small move up, the pullback, and the bounce. Take the trade here. Stops below that 229.72. If resistance is at 237, I'd have a target probably right about 235, 237. 235, 236. Somewhere in that range on Apple. All right. You're quite welcome, Andres, and for all of you that have dropped your candidates in. Guys, we got a few minutes left. If anybody has one last one they want me to look at, if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to leave the room open for a couple of minutes so you can go grab the links that Elisa has dropped in there for you for trading like a boss. And of course, Brandon's Wealth with Spreads. Get yourself registered for that class. CrowdStrike. All right, last one. There we go. Don, you're quite welcome. So CrowdStrike's been all over the place today, right? Yeah, we got today's candle on there. So all over I mean, all over the place. So I would love to see a pullback to the 367.70, Andres, a bounce, and 377.5 is resistance. 375.5 would be my target. Stop just down on the other side. All right, so just keep your eye on that. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. All right, everyone. Hey, again, we'll leave the room open a couple of minutes. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I'll see y'all at the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. Happy trading.